All right, today we're just going to talk about the madness of US retirement plans. And as you know, a brief highlight of what we're going to talk about is that the madness that I be talking about is how we think it's perfectly okay that we invest in retirement plans that are tied with certain stocks, ETFs, and even mutual funds, depending on like what your retirement investment strategy is, and how these instruments are hella like manipulated by like high frequency trading firms to hedge funds to like independent traders to other financial institutions like insurance to any financial like companies. How it's okay when the music continues, but once the music stops and when we see certain parties are taking advantage of certain investments, like how individuals who have retirement plans of certain, like let's say like an S&P 500 stock, how that investment allows other financial institutions to use that liquidity for certain puts options or even just trading like either 1 or 2 cents for like a profit. Now there are like multiple ways to make money in the financial sphere, but this is just like the most common that a lot of people know. And just to like give you just a brief recap of different types. I mean, there are like different types of like IRAs. There are like Roth IRAs. There are 401ks, and there are like different types of pension plans. Like it could be like government or like more business based. And how a lot of these options are very confusing because if you think about it, you're like, I'll just go with the IRA. But then let's say if you have kids, they're like, oh, maybe a Roth IRA might be better. Oh, wait, maybe because I'm working, I should do a 401k because my company either contributes a certain amount. Like there are certain levels in certain circumstances that is different from everyone else. So this is not like financial advice. It's just like a discussion from my perspective of how like the process of retirement plans are kind of crazy because if everyone has a retirement plan and when they hit that retirement age, like retirement firms would not like it because they have to pay it out. But the benefit of those firms is that they're able to continually receive that amount and continually leverage that amount. But once their customers experience that retirement age and they have to provide at least minimum their like initial amounts of investments. If not, they're like kind of like not in a good position because it means that the institution did not manage their investment strategy as effectively as what the customers wanted when they like first went into that retirement insurance firm. And just the whole mental barrier just creates more like short-term thinking and just hesitation on like the user level. How it's very hard to like understand like what type of stocks you want. Like you could just go with like, oh, all tech stocks. But you're like in a sense putting all your eggs in a basket. Now the positive is that like if it works out, you get that massive gain in your retirement returns. But the negative is that if it doesn't, it might eat away your initial investments that you contribute each month, week. It depends. But I mean, like I say, like there's a lot of customization with these retirement plans. But what I fear from an economic perspective is how if there's more like dependency on governmental retirement programs and not as much into retirement, personal retirement plans, it's just going to create like a flip in perspective of like, what the country is focusing more on. Instead of focusing on their newer generations, the new generations have to put in more investment towards the older generations who are either reaching that retirement age or are going to eventually reach that retirement age. Like what I'm talking about these groups is that like individuals in the population, if they're more of an older population, then you see more difficulties in like cost of living, and just the whole atmosphere and attitude is pivoted from the young generation to a better emphasis and investment towards the old. For example, like Japan and even Korea. And yeah, like I say, like overall the madness is like how back in the day before we left the gold standard, when we were on the gold standard, the retirement mentality wasn't that difficult. Like you could just store your cash and then it would retain its value. But as America continues to print more cash, it created more inflation, and as a result of more inflation, the costs of the dollar went down. So then it's just the dilemma of like retirement plans is that you have to go and have a retirement plan. If not, you are reliant on the weak inefficiencies of like governmental programs. In which sadly, when I just talk with like a lot of Korean, like first gen Korean parents in my area, like other parents, of course not my parents, like other parents, most of them don't have a retirement plan or an understanding of like why it's so essential. How they could just rely on just like the government, programs. But the reality is that like if no retirement plan, like you got to rely heavily on your kids, even if you do have kids or have a good relationship with them. And just that dynamic and that like pressure towards your kids are like you don't really want that. If you do, then I mean, you do you, bro. But like, I would not want to put economic pressure on my kids, cause like they have their life, and I don't want them to invest more into like their like parents if their parents were unable to have the proper retirement planning. And yeah, just like overall, like the madness of how we rely on like stocks, ETFs, and certain commodities, while hedge funds and other financial institutions are able to leverage that and shake it up and create unnecessary anxiety just for them to profit off of how much we invest into those stocks through options or other leveraging tactics. And how, in recap, just the closing moment of like how in America you have to have a retirement plan. If not, you are going to be heavily reliant on governmental programs, in which it ain't looking good because Social Security is already running out, and most likely I would not be able to even touch that despite my paycheck, you know, percentages towards that. But anyways, let's go on the freestyle rap. Yeah. Uh-uh. Why? 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 Why we gotta run with this madness? Hey, I don't understand. Yeah. Why do we gotta gamble our 401ks? Why do we gotta make this so complicated? I just wanna go back to the gold standard. Not this endless inflation, money spending, money printing like a printer. I got 9, I got 401k on my right side. Why you gotta touch on me like I got VVS all over me? Take it real slow, hold. Whoa, why we gotta go complicate with the age and contribution limits? Every time I just gotta get better fiduciary agents. I don't understand all these new taxations depending on where you live, how you gonna go manage yourself. Ooh, Why we gotta go gamble on our retirement plans with the ETFs or the mutual funds? Yeah. Was it be crazy? Would be people who be dancing, who be manipulating with these funds? Yeah. Gotta be careful. Why we got the hedge funds and the mutuals trying to go dabble in around with the flow? Hey, I don't understand why we gotta go and gamble. Take it real slow. Hey, I don't understand. Every time be complicating. No short-term thinking. Yeah. I don't wanna get the paradox of choice. Yeah. I just don't really wanna rely on government programs and reduce inequality. Retirement, if people always gotta go fondle with the retirement plans, never really understand the choices. Gotta go invest real early to secure that money back while you dance around. When you reach a 65 age, we be going dance around with your retirement plan money flow. Hope you guys enjoy this rap. Feel free to like, comment, do whatever you want down below, and see you on the next episode. Peace.